body from the waters.
Everyone close to me is in terrible danger. As soon as you get this, leave. I'm not yours, Patrick. I never will be.
The story begins with a young nurse named Kathy Jacquard heading to a remote private clinic run by Dr. Roger to apply for a nursing job. The place has recently been shaken by a scandal. The previous nurse was killed by one of the patients. During the interview, the stern head nurse, Matron Cassidy, makes it very clear that Kathy isn't cut out for the job. But Dr. Roget steps in, orders them to hire her, and a relieved Kathy starts work the same day. The clinic is housed in an old converted monastery. A younger nurse, Orla Williams, quickly fills Kathy in. Matron Cassidy is actually Dr. Roget's daughter, and the clinic is full of patients whose families would rather forget they exist. When Matron calls Orla away, Kathy wanders into one of the rooms and sees a young man lying motionless. She's shocked. He's been in a coma for years, yet shows no muscle wasting or any typical signs of long-term immobility. Orla comes back and explains, the guy is Patrick. He's Dr. Roget's special project. That evening, the girls go to a nearby bar where Kathy meets the charming Dr. Brian Wright. The next day on shift, a patient dies and Kathy has to take the body to the morgue. In the elevator, the sheet suddenly moves. A dead hand shoots out, grabs her by the throat, and starts choking her. She barely fights it off and runs to Dr. Roget, insisting the man wasn't actually dead. He calmly asks her to help him and orders the gurney wheeled to his private lab instead. Later, he asks Kathy to assist with Patrick. Dr. Roget injects something into Patrick, takes some readings, then leaves Kathy alone with him. Orla shows up to help. Chatty as ever, she tells Kathy that Dr. Brian is into her and asked Orla to set something up. After that, weird things start happening to Kathy. On one night shift, she swears a patient woke up. When she gets closer, she sees a terrifying face reflected in the metal tray. That same evening, when Brian visits her at home, his hand suddenly stops obeying him. He crushes a wine glass and badly cuts himself. That night, Kathy is tormented by endless nightmares starring Patrick. The next day, after another experiment, Dr. Roget asks Kathy to take care of Patrick. She notices the guy reacts to her touch and even communicates by spitting in patterns. Matron Cassidy catches it, warns Kathy to keep quiet and not get any ideas. Dr. Roget, on the contrary, wants her to demonstrate it, but when they both return, Patrick stays perfectly still. A few days later, Kathy is entering patient data into the computer. Alone with Patrick again, he starts responding. When she asks why he doesn't show Roget, words appear on the screen. He wants it to stay between them. Later, she walks in on Dr. Roget performing yet another unsanctioned experiment on Patrick. Kathy protests. No consent from family or patient. Roget simply reminds her of her place and leaves. That evening, her ex-husband Ed shows up to talk. While they argue, his phone rings from an unknown number. He suddenly goes blank, walks over, and presses both hands onto a burning deep fryer. Kathy snaps him out of it just before the damage gets worse. The next day, Patrick communicates with her telepathically through the computer. He says he only reveals his powers to Kathy because she's the only one who's ever been kind to him. That night, Kathy confides in Dr. Brian about the unethical procedures. He promises to help. Afterward, she tries to dig up anything online about Patrick. Every file has been erased. During their next session, Patrick tells her he doesn't need saving. He'll take care of her instead. At that exact moment, Dr. Brian's car mysteriously veers off a cliff. At the same time, Kathy and Orla hear a commotion from Patrick's room. Inside, Dr. Rajat, moving like a puppet, has disconnected Patrick from life support. Kathy manages to inject adrenaline and restart his heart just before Matron Cassidy summons them both. That same day, after hearing on the radio that Brian is dead, Kathy decides to quit the clinic for good. Hours later, Matron Cassidy shows up at Kathy's door, tells her never to come back, hands over Patrick's full file, and drives away. Back at the clinic, Matron clears the building and tries to switch Patrick off for good. He fights back mentally and eventually kills her with a massive electric shock. Meanwhile, Kathy pieces everything together and realizes what happened to Ed and Brian was no coincidence. Suddenly, words appear on her bathroom mirror. She screams at Patrick that she will never be his. The mirror explodes, sending a storm of glass shards straight at her. Before passing out, she manages to text Ed. He immediately races to the clinic. There he's met by Orla Williams, now fully under Patrick's control. She lures Ed to the kitchen and locks him in the walk-in freezer. When Kathy arrives, the entire clinic is under Patrick's power. She begs him to release Orla. He does, and the freed girl stumbles backward, falling down the elevator shaft. Furious, Kathy storms to Patrick's room. The door is locked. They communicate through texts appearing on her phone. He confesses his love. She's too angry to care. She's read his file. As a teenager, he killed his mother and her lover by throwing a plugged-in toaster into their bath. Patrick toys with her, saying Ed is hidden somewhere in the building. In the basement, she finds Matron's corpse and a zombified Dr. Roger calmly chewing a live frog. The door briefly opens. Roger runs out, fills a huge syringe, and tries to inject Patrick. Patrick forces him to drop it, then hurls the doctor into the hallway. Still controlled, Roger gives himself electroshock therapy. Kathy finds Ed in the freezer, barely alive. A dead nurse suddenly rises and starts strangling him. A message pops up on Kathy's phone, Ed's life in exchange for her love. Kathy races back. She spots the syringe Roger dropped and waits for the exact moment the lighthouse keeper turns on the powerful beacon nearby. Every time it sweeps past, electricity flickers for a couple of seconds and Patrick loses control. The second the lights dip, she plunges the syringe into Patrick's heart. Everything in the room starts spinning like a tornado. Then silence. Patrick's body jerks upward, flies through the window, and impales itself on a metal fence post below. His eyes finally close. Sometime later, Kathy wakes up screaming from a nightmare. Ed tries to comfort her, when the window suddenly slams shut on its own, hinting that Patrick might not be gone after all. All in all, Patrick is a solid, atmospheric remake with a fantastic Charles Dance. The pacing drags in places, and the ending is pretty predictable, but it keeps you interested and never feels irritating. If you like old-school psychological horror with telekinesis, definitely worth a watch. Solid 7 out of 10.